quorum.
Okay, well then let's go ahead. It is 7:17. Let's go ahead and call this meeting to order this evening. Can we get a roll call, please?
Yes. Trish is here. Bill Stewart.
Here.
Julie Chetney.
Here.
Pretty Subramaniam. I see you, Pretty. Kelly Privet. Joseph Wong. I
Here.
see you. Sam Yi. I thought I saw him.
I saw Sam.
Okay. I'll keep an eye out for him.
Okay,
Karen is here. Philip Loy.
I'm here.
Richard Centeno.
I'm here.
Adriana Pinedo.
Here.
And Tina's here. You have a quorum.
great. Thank you, everybody. Welcome. Let's go ahead and let's get started. Let's go ahead and call the meeting, review the agenda. So let's get started. Are there any changes or amendments or revisions? Julie has her hand up.
I do indeed. So this is more of a question for Erica. Erica, at our Strategic Development Committee meeting, oh, I don't see it as an actual action item. So maybe we don't have to change the agenda, under Strategic Development recommendations for board membership. We are not bringing forth any recommendations this evening.
Okay, you can just do it as informational.
Perfect. Yeah, I didn't see the asterisk, so I don't think we need to do anything to it. So thank you.
Excellent. Okay, I'm totally drawing a blank. Do I need to approve the agenda? I do, right? No, I don't. Okay, sorry. I was having like a brain freeze right there for a minute. Okay, let's go ahead and go to our next item, public comment. Erica, do we have any public comment this evening?
Yes, we do. I'm gonna be reading our public comment guidelines first, if that's okay with you.
Yes, please.
The Board of Directors welcomes public participation and values input from our community. If you have signed up to give public input during our board meeting, we kindly ask that you follow the following guidelines. Each speaker has up to 3 minutes to speak. The board will note comments that require follow-up. Please be aware that the board does not respond or take action during public comment in order to maintain adherence to our governance process. If you have handouts or written comments, please submit them to the board liaison, who is me. To protect privacy, the board cannot discuss specific individuals or cases during public comment. We follow Robert's Rules of Order to ensure the meeting remains fair, focused, and organized. Our meetings provide transparency and access to public information. We follow both state guidelines and our own standards for accountability. And for public input, we have Mr. Carl Argila.
Good evening, board. Erica, can you tell me if I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Okay, great, thank you. Good evening again, board. As you know, my name is Carl Argila. I am the father of Cavan Argila, an intellectually disabled deaf client of the San Gabriel Pomona Regional Center. As always, tonight's board meeting, including my comments, are being recorded under the provisions of the Bagley-Keene Act and will be posted for public review on my blog at www.sgprc.net. I usually don't talk about my son, Gerardo Argila, because Gerardo is on the self-determination program and I am Gerardo's conservator. Tonight, however, I need to bring to your attention the ongoing problems which we have experienced with Acumen Fiscal Management Services regarding payment issues. Just today, we were in a state of crisis because we feared missing a payroll for Gerardo's support staff on Monday. Fortunately, Jessie Romero was able to assist as she has in the past. The self-determination program should work smoothly, like the IHSS program does, and not require intervention on a regular basis by a regional center. I filed a 4731 complaint against the San Gabriel Pomona Regional Center and its vendor for your failure to provide a communication accessible environment at your so-called deaf house. My son, Cavan Argila, is an involuntary resident at that facility. The situation has been ongoing for more than 2 years. Your vendor has made numerous promises to hire American Sign Language fluent staff. However, his promises have not proven true. That complaint is now at the level of the DDS director. Once again, board, I am requesting that you terminate your conservatorship of my son, Cavan Argila. As you know, my son has clearly stated that he does not want to be conserved by you. My son has clearly stated that he wants his family to be his conservator. My son recently met with your so-called executive director's designee, Patricia Rambo. Ms. Rambo has failed to provide my son with a transition plan to move out of conservatorship. As I've stated before, we do not trust Ms. Rambo to be unbiased in her role as the executive director's designee for my son, Cavan Argila. And again, we are requesting that Dr. Weller appoint another person to serve as his designee for my son, Cavan Argila. And board, finally, as a reminder to other parents, no matter how consumer friendly the San Gabriel Pomona Regional Center may appear to be, you must never forget that they do have the power to become your child's conservator and ruin your life. Please assure that the official minutes of this board meeting accurately state that I am requesting that the San Gabriel Pomona Regional Center terminate their conservatorship of my son, Cavan Argila. Thank you again for your time, board, and I look forward to meeting with you again next month.
Thank you. Erica, is there any other additional public comment?
No, ma'am.
Okie dokie, thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next item. We have our consent agenda. And we have review of the board minutes, June 25th and July 23rd, 2025. Are there any comments or changes? Can I get a motion to approve the minutes as written? Philip, I see you there. And Tina?
I'll second.
Okay, we've got Tina, Bill, and Philip. Take your pick, Erica. I see you, Tina. Okay. With that, we'll go ahead and we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Great, Erica, you got everybody there? Are there any nays? Any abstains? I'm looking around here. I see you, Richard. You raised your hand. What are you raising your hand for, Richard?
No. I'm voting only second.
Okay, thank you, dear. Thank you. Is there any additional comments or no? Seeing and hearing none, we have approved and made the motion. We're going to move on to the next item, which is the Executive Finance Committee report, review of the financial report. Just as a reminder, we do approve the financials during our Executive Finance Committee. So tonight we will be providing them as an update. And I don't see Dara, so I see maybe Sophie. Are you going to be presenting this evening? I can't hear you. Wait, you're muted.
Now? Can you
Try
hear?
again. Oh, yes, now we can hear you.
Erica, can I share my screen or are you gonna share your screen?
You can share it.
Let me share my screen.
Yeah, you might need to speak up just a tad, Sophie.
Sure.
I don't know if you need to get closer to the microphone there, just so that we can hear you clear.
Can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good evening, everyone. So today I'm helping Dara to present our financial report. This financial report is presents for fiscal year 2024 to 2025 and payments through July 21st, 2025 for the service provided through June 30th, 2025. So the first is our operations for the regional center. For months to date, we have a 1.5 million. And year to date, we have about 49 millions. And we have a remaining of a 5.8 million. For our allocation for A2, we have a 54.9 millions. That's for the operation ops, regular portions. And then restricted ops funds for the family resource center, foster grandparents, senior companion, CPP, and the DC closure ongoing workload. For this month, we have a 234,000. And year to date, we have a 2.7 million. And remaining, we have a 263,000. This is for the operation portions. Next. So this is post POS portions. We have for this month we have 6.8 millions. For year to date, we have 442 millions. For the remaining funds, we have 68.6 thousand. For A2 allocations, we have 511 millions. We are expecting to allocate all the fundings. For the restricted POS fund for CPP, CRDP, HCBS, for this month, we have a negative 64 thousands, and year to date, we have 185 thousands. Remaining, we have a 1.9 thousands. Right now, we are still waiting for A3 allocation for the deficiency of 30 thousands. For this is portion for the POS. Do you have any questions or comment? If not, next page is the next page is our financial report details for operation funds. And also there's a financial report details for the POS for this period. And also there's a balance sheet as of June 30th, 2025. And there's financial positions as of June 30th, 2025. And also the POS and ops surplus, the chart. Okay, that's all. Does anyone has any comment or questions? Today's presentation for the financial report portions.
Oh, were you saying something? I could barely hear you, Sophie. Was that you?
Yes. So if anyone have any
There you
comment or questions?
I don't see any. Erica, do you see any?
No, Sophie, we don't see any.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, moving along here. Oh, that would be me. So we're going to give a little update on the Community Relations Legislative Advisory Committee. At the moment, I am going to be chairing that committee, so I will provide some short updates here. So Jesse provided some updates on the ARCA voter voice platform, and also some ongoing House resolutions and bills funding. He provided updates. We are continuing to roll out the Public Records Act implementation schedule that is scheduled for January 2026 board training will be provided. And I would encourage all of you, the board and any committee members who may be interested to attend the trainings. If you're curious or interested, please reach out to Erica and we can get that taken care of for you. I think the training would be extremely helpful, especially for our board members, to really understand how the Public Records Request Act works and how to navigate that process and what does it look like. I fortunately or unfortunately am familiar with it. So, but if you're not, I would definitely encourage you to make sure you attend one of those trainings. Additionally, staff shared that they are doing some ongoing outreach efforts in the community with our local school districts, as well as our local colleges and universities. So that was some exciting news there. So with that, I will conclude my report and I'm going to turn it over now to Philip for the Advisory Committee for Individuals Served and Their Families. You ready, Philip?
Yes, Trish. So we have a special presentation by the SGPRC nurse unit. Isabella Equator, the manager of the nurse unit. And we have updates by Danella. And the future training topics on January 24 will be emergency preparedness. And those are my updates, Trish.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate that. Moving right along. Do we have anybody here, Erica, from the Vendor Advisory Committee to provide a report?
No, we don't.
Okay, well, we'll just save that and we'll check in with Kelly next time. Okay, Julie, you're up for the Strategic Development Advisory Committee.
Yes, thank you. So we met earlier this evening and Jesse provided us with an update, a strategic plan update, actually, with some plans by the Department of Developmental Services regarding technology, and which is an area that our system is severely behind the times, to say the least. And there's going to be a series of town halls, one at our very own regional center, to discuss what the new system-wide technology platform, shall we say, should look like. What should it include? What are our needs and our wants in terms of this? It's called LOIS. Oh gosh, Jesse, help me out with the acronym. Life Outcomes
Improvement System.
Okay, I thought it was Information Improvement Systems. Yes, thank you. So that's a very exciting opportunity that the state is starting to invest in, and we're seeing some of that enthusiasm come under the new director of DDS, Pete Sharinka. So we discussed a little bit about that at our meeting before having a couple of very wonderful interviews with some potential board members, and we are not yet ready to make any sort of recommendations for board membership, but I advise everyone to please stay tuned in the coming months. So that is the report from Strategic Development.
Great, thank you. Okay, now it comes back to me again. Erica, we're gonna have to put that in a different order there for the time being. Hi, Philip, you had a question?
Yeah, but do you write a note down for Kelly for next meeting? Because I want to ask her, is there an application you to get from us if your parents want to know where you are at?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Trish.
thank you. Thank you, Philip. Okay, so let me see here. So my report, President's report. Thank you, everybody. So recently we submitted our board composition survey to DDS, and unfortunately we are lacking in representation in the area of legal expertise and also in our Hispanic community. So I would like to encourage all of you to reach out to anyone that you think may be interested in being part of our amazing organization. If you have family, friends, or if you are a provider and you know someone that you think might be an incredible asset here, please put them in touch with the office, with Erica and or Alba, and maybe we can get them a seat here at the table. It's always nice to have new and new perspectives and thoughts on our board. So thank you for that. Secondly, on Thursday, August 21st, I had the privilege to attend the Vendor Resource Fair, and it was a great turnout. I had the opportunity to not only meet many of our vendors and hear about the services that they provide, but I also had an opportunity to meet many of the staff. And I really enjoyed that they took the time to stop by, introduce themselves, and say hi. And they were very enthusiastic about sharing their stories and also the people that they work with and that they service. And a lot of them have a lot of really great they were thinking about people that they interact with that might be potential committee or board members. So that was really exciting to hear. And I have to give a kudos to Daniela and her incredible team and everybody that worked on that event. It was very well organized, very thought out, and I loved that. So hopefully we will get a few new applications, Erica. I also would be remiss if I didn't thank Yvonne for being my translator. So I think I'm going to have to step up my Duolingo. But thank you, Yvonne, for stepping in and helping with that. I really appreciated that. Next year, if some of my fellow board members or committee members would like to have a seat at the table with me, I would more than welcome you. It is truly a rewarding experience to not only see the families come in and learn about our vendors, but also there might be vendors or services that you may not have heard about. And so so it was really an incredible experience. And as I've said before, and I will always say this, it takes a village, and everyone here is part of that village. And so thank you for that. Lastly, I'm just going to give a shout out, a quick plug to the golf tournament coming up. It's in a couple weeks. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think they might have sold out. So great job, staff. Look forward to seeing you all there. And it's an incredible event that raises much needed funds for the Richard Davis Foundation. So again, a great opportunity. And with that, I'm going to wrap up my report and I'm going to turn it over to Jesse. And Jesse's going to give us his report.
Thank you, Trish. Good evening, everybody. Let's see. I'm going to share my screen. And can everybody see this okay? Hopefully. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, let's go.
There we go.
Technology is working. I love it. All right, everybody. I would like to start us off this evening, just bringing us back to our core values. Usually on my board reports, you'll see I kind of rotate between our mission statement and our vision. And I wanted to take just a quick opportunity as we kind of get closer into our new fiscal year, since July, of just kind of bringing us back to our foundation that you can expect from our regional center. This was done in collaboration with our board, our individual served, family members, stakeholders, staff, as part of our strategic planning process. And just want to remind everybody of some core values, just to bring in our forefront. That we are really committed to the highest ethical standards, integrity, you'll see there in bold, prioritizing transparency, fundamentally, fostering trust, open communication with our community. We fundamentally believe in a culture of innovation and looking for new creative solutions outside the box, and being progressive and forward thinking in the work that we do every day. Dedicated to creating a culture of respect and collaboration where all input is valued. Believing in the power of self-determination and choices. the value of being an advocate and truly what that means when we look at the challenges and opportunities in our system for everybody that we serve to make sure they get the best life possible, and making sure that we're proactive in our responsiveness and looking how we can enhance ways of well-being for our community at large. So just want to take a little quick moment to kind of keep this fresh as we look at our core values as a culture and as a community and as an organization. Quarter four, I want to bring to you tonight for the past few months between April and June. At the very bottom, you'll have a link to my report for more information. Just want to remind everybody that we are making progress on our plan. The plan's a 3-year plan, but I put 2025 because it's we're in the last 2 years of that plan, but it's really a 3-year plan. We have a consultant who's been really critical in helping us fine tune and really align on the key performance indicators and definitions. What does that mean? That means how do we make sure that we're getting good metrics and deliverables on every area that we outlined, and how are we looking at our success? So there's been tremendous work in the past quarter of tracking outcomes, looking at accountability, looking at the effectiveness of how we're approaching each of our strategies and tactics. And the past 3 quarters I put on here for you is shown with our data that we are improving in service access. I think we do a fabulous job already, but we want to keep pushing ourselves to greater levels. We have some data to show our community involvement in our internal systems, looking at the momentum that we've been trying to achieve in this as well. So if you're interested for more information, as a plug, please come to our Strategic Development Advisory Committee. We go into a lot of detail on our strategic plan. We're committed to looking at updates on a quarterly basis, not annual, because our committee believes that we need to keep up with a quarterly momentum to make sure that we are getting the resources that we need to support all the efforts in a strategic plan to push us forward, that we sometimes call our North Star. And the last update I had for you on our strategic plan, you'll find it on our website if you want to see the plan as a reminder, and also all of the implementation updates in there. And then starting in our new quarter around October, you'll see a different kind of format that is going to leverage our technology, which is known as monday.com, for those that like technology in there. So it's coming this way. Public Records Act, Trish mentioned this earlier, everybody. It's coming January 1, 2026. I'm going to keep this a reoccurring item until January and beyond, just to make sure that it's just fresh. So if it's repetitive, I apologize. But it's such a big one for our system that we just want to keep it on everybody's radar. And the update I have for our board of directors this evening is that we have hired a public records and policy compliance manager, and they will begin their role on September 15th. We will announce that more formally at our next meeting. This was discussed by Julie this evening about LOIS, all these acronyms. We're trying our best to make sure we slow down and talk about what this means. The Life Outcomes Improvement System, a brand new case management technology that the state is looking to launch and really getting feedback from everybody. There's town halls going on. It was mentioned earlier this evening. I wanted to bring your attention to the link in my report right on page, on the slide 8. On there is a link. If you click on this link where it says Life Outcomes Improvement Project, it gives everything. It gives the why. It gives very easy, friendly ways of looking at it. There's webinars. There's definitions about what it means to me. The department put a lot of work into this. And so I want to make sure that everybody stays engaged in the process. Don't let technology be scary. Don't let it be overwhelming. And we're really pushing for people to say, you know what, that doesn't apply to me. Because it does. This is really going to make the ways that we serve everybody more efficient and better. And so there's a lot of opportunities to get involved in a variety of different ways, whatever your comfort level is. So if you have ideas, if you're familiar with Kaiser or any system that has like a portal where you can log in, get information, download documents, there's a lot of ambition to get this kind of system for us as a regional center system across the state. So just want to have that on your radar, that if you like technology and you want to be part of the future and you hear LOIS or you hear Life Outcomes Improvement System, keep that on your radar and take advantage of the webinars, the town halls. You really get to help create a system not for you and your family, but for the entire state. So it's really exciting. It's going to take a few years to get here, but it's in the beginning stages there as well. So there's a lot of information. And if you have questions, please just stay engaged in the process. On another note here, regional centers are striving and doing our best to become more consistent across the state. So for example, what we do at Sandgate Pomona should look really close and similar to what happens at other regional centers that are our neighbors. And there's a lot of work across the entire state being done to look at common regional center services, how we define race, ethnicity, and language to make sure we get better data. Looking at a standardized respite tool intake process, vendorization procedure, and our IPP template and processes. So a lot of movement there. You're going to continue to see upward mobility around the standardization of making things feel really similar for us. So just want to keep your attention there. The Senate 138 is looking at trailer bill language and looking at the law's requirements. So it's not just a wish and desire for us to be consistent. It's really Senate bill language that's pushing us forward to be more consistent. And the idea is to make things more easy for families and similar. So depending on where your zip code is, no matter what's happening, that everything just feels similar to have a better experience across the regional centers. There's an exciting community information forum coming up tomorrow at 11 a.m. So I'm trying to put a plug there. We have a mental health specialist. She's fantastic. Her name is Yesenia, and she is doing a webinar tomorrow on recognizing and responding to mental health needs in the community, specifically for our communities that we serve. Looking at co-occurring health diagnoses, signs and risk factors, and giving resources and supports. So there's a direct link right here on the Zoom if you have an interest in that topic. Trish did a good job describing this, so I just want to say thank you as well on behalf of the staff for coordinating our vendor resource fair. A shout out to our board president for making it over and really representing the board of directors. Your presence is very much noted, and we're really interested as a regional center to keep pushing forward to how we can do more platforms to promote our service providers and vendors who are at the heart of the work that we do with direct service delivery. So just wanted to say thank you as a recognition. Somebody asked recently at a community meeting, how often are we going to do these? We would love to do them all the time. It does take a lot of planning and organization and coordination to make these happen, but we recognize the value. So we're looking internally about how we can keep the momentum up on these areas. So just wanted to say thank you to everybody for making that happen. Today, the association information that there is a free, we love free 6-week online course that provides options to support future planning for those that have adult family members with developmental disabilities with supported decision making. And it empowers the goal to work with your family members to plan for the future. And that's on Wednesday, September 17th. So the ARC is connected to that training. So there's a link in here to register if you want more information, but we're just trying to push that out as well. And I'll end my report with some statistics. We are at 556 authorized positions as of July 31st. You'll see all of our growth positions that we've been working towards, our recruitment. You'll see when you look at our board reports carefully, some momentum in our recruiting efforts. Especially when the state announced that we are going to be fully funded for caseload growth in there for operations, which is really important. You'll see that we are finally, we celebrated over 18,000 individuals as of July 31st, 18,036. We've been very close. I know, that's what I say to what we are growing, we are expanding. It's really exciting, the number of intakes that you see here It's tremendous. Just look for the month of just July, everybody. July 1 through the 31st. In 31 days, we received 197 new referrals for early start, and then we received 47 for Lanterman. So that is a lot of people coming in, getting assessed, seeing if they're eligible, which is a fantastic thing because it tells us our system is working because we're able to serve people. The challenge we have is having enough psychologists and eligibility that is there for people because we want to make sure we get through our statutory timelines for the families. So just want to give a shout out to our intake and eligibility department and our outreach teams and our service coordination. We believe that there is a lot of momentum. It's not just one factor as to why we're growing so much. And so we're hoping to keep growing. We're known to be a mid-sized regional center. And I just do projections out over the next few years that we're very likely to become a very large regional center at the rate that we're going. So it's just really inspiring to think about the work that's happening there. And I'll end with some few SDP statistics. I saw some of the team members here. Due to their hard work and diligence, we have, as of July 31st, 294 participants in SDP. We have a specialized model of specialists that carry a 1:30 ratio, a model to really support families with the complexities of self-determination. And we're continuing to fund some of those key positions to stay as close as we can within that framework and making it known that the department is doing a lot of work behind the scenes to make self-determination more efficient and more streamlined. So they're really trying to look at ways to make it easier on families and individuals and how to reduce workload impacts on regional centers just to make it efficient all the way around. So there's going to be a lot of movement between now and 2027 on this program here, which is exciting. The statistics here the team put together, just a quick little preview of the ethnicity. We think about our disparity work that we're doing in outreach, and you'll see that we have a very large Asian American and Pacific Islander representation, almost 40% at 37% in self-determination, 26% in our Hispanic, Latina communities, 5% for our Black and African American communities, other, which includes 2 or more ethnicities, at 15%, and then individuals who identify as white at 17%. So just a way of looking at kind of who's in self-determination by ethnicity as we think about outreach activities. And then you'll see by the age that our number one area that we're serving is between that 6 and 14 years old age. Adults would be next at 25 years or older of how we look at our departments, then to our transition age youth, all the way to preschool. So just a different way kind of looking at the data about who's in self-determination and all the offers and possibilities in the program. And that concludes my report. Any questions for me?
Jesse, just a request. I'm really intrigued by the new looking back for the word. Could you go back where you looked at we went 18,036 and the numbers for July? I just had a quick comment.
Sure.
If you could just flip back to that page. That was really interesting data.
Of course, let me get back there right now. And it's right here.
Yeah. Can you just scroll down a little bit? Because there was, I had a thought. I'm thinking it would be a really interesting metric to track monthly. And again, I'll defer to you for the right metric and the right measure, but like new applications, acceptances, I think that's a really good measure of success in terms of the outreach that we're doing, the processes we're trying to move. Again, I don't want to have too many KPIs, but it just strikes me that that's a really interesting metric of success on all the things we're trying to do to bring people to the center.
I love it. Ties right back to strategic planning about our efforts in those areas. So we have all the data, so very easy to do. Great. And I know as a other plug with our technology that we're still in the pilot phase. We're moving towards more of a larger scale with some enhancements for technology and some efficiencies that we're going to be able to pull even more informed data, so a little less manual and a little bit more automated in there. So I think we can get kind of a better glimpse at some of these areas too in a very efficient way.
That's really good news. Thank you, Jesse.
Of course. Any other questions? Right. That concludes my report for this evening.
Great, thank you, Jesse. That was a great that's a great comment, Bill. That'd be very interesting to see, and it does tie in with the strategic plan. So awesome. Thank you, Jesse. Well, are there any other board or committee announcements that would like to be made? Oh, Julie has one.
Why, yes, I do. I love that little raise hand thing.
I know.
I'm going to give a plug for the ARCA Academy that's going to be coming up in November. So every year, ARCA, the Association of Regional Center Agencies, puts on a 2-day training. It's highly encouraged, but not required, for members and committee members of local boards to come together to hear from our ARCA representation up in Sacramento, from members of the Department of Developmental Services, to talk about what's happening within the system in all its different facets: legislation, history, technology, and also how to be the best functioning boards that we can be, about running board meetings and just the roles and the responsibilities. And it goes beyond what we do in July for our training. So this year, the ARCA Academy is going to be up in Northern California, just very, very close to the Sacramento International Airport, hosted by Alta California Regional Center. And it is November 13th, Friday the 14th, and Saturday the 15th. So if you are interested, we highly encourage anyone who is interested to maybe we could send out some sort of an email or survey interest or something like that. Erica, Trish, you and I can maybe work on something like that for board and committee members who may be interested in attending. So I'll be there as our ARCA representative, and I know all the other board delegates from the other 20 regional centers most probably are going to be there. We're going to go up a little early so that we can be up there and lay out the proverbial red carpet for the rest of our local board members. So just please put that in the back of your minds, and we'll send some more information out to you. But it really is a wonderful time to be in person, to connect, to talk to people from San Diego, from Redwood Coast, from the Bay Area, I mean all over the state, and just to see we're all doing the exact same thing in very different communities. So I highly recommend it.
Thank you, Julie. And I also plan on attending, so I will be attending. I already have it on my calendar. So and we must have been thinking alike, because I was gonna do a little plug for it as well. So perfect. Thank you, everybody. So no other comments or community announcements or anything? I'm seeing none. I think that concludes our meeting this evening. Thank you, everyone, for participating. Try and stay cool. Have a good evening, and we will see you again next month. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Everybody take care.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.